Good morning everyone, welcome to another daily vlog on my commute to Muay Thai training. And like always, before we start, public safety announcement: when you are in the car, please do not text and drive, do not get distracted. Turn off, if you want to vlog, turn off the display of your camera on the DJI Pocket 3. You can actually just switch the camera to a different direction, or on other cameras you can switch on energy saving mode and then the display will turn off. Do not get distracted. Today's vlog is actually about not necessarily learning, but something I wanted to kind of share, because a brand approached me, a bigger company actually, that have their own creative department. They asked me to do an editing workshop, and in the next few days and few weeks I kind of need to prepare that workshop. I'm actually really excited to do a little bit of teaching. As some of you might know, I do have some aspirations to be somewhat of a mentor, and I like to share my knowledge, and I like to kind of help other people get better at their craft. And this could be the first step into getting some form of learnings how to teach other people. I have been doing 1 or 2 workshops many years ago, so I'm a little bit out of practice, and to be honest, I only did 2, so I've never been in real practice when it comes down to group training. I have been teaching some individual persons, so I've done one-on-one teachings in the past, so I know that, but I've never done any group mentoring or coaching or teachings, however you want to call it. I feel like because I'm not a trained editor, and I will get to that in just a second, I don't really want to call myself a teacher, but this would be more somewhat of mentoring. For those of you who don't know, I have been a professional film editor, and I've been in the film industry for over 20 years. And I've been a freelance film editor, I think, for 15 years. So while I am a professional, I've never kind of had like school training. I've never went to uni, I've never been to film school, but I've learned everything, learning by doing and also by shadowing other editors. But I've nothing on like paper where it says like, oh, Bo has finished college degree in editing for so and so many years. But I think that is beyond the point, because I feel like many people who have been in their profession, even though they've not kind of accomplished like a degree or anything, still can be very good teachers and very good mentors, because they've learned it through experience, and they just know what works and what doesn't. And with this workshop, it will be all about editing and why editing is important. It's not going to be a workshop where I teach Adobe Premiere or Avid Media Composer. I'm not going to teach the software or the task of editing. The goal, as far as I understand from the producer and the company that approached me, and I've been working with them as an editor quite a lot. It's a fashion company, and they have this creative department, and they want their creative to be taught why editing is important, but also when they go out and potentially craft an idea, potentially maybe have to be on set and direct themselves, or have to communicate to the director what they want. They need to understand the power of editing, the intricacies of why you need to lay out a storyboard a certain way so it works in the editing process. For example, one of the things that I will need to kind of explain are the different camera framings. So wide shot, middle shot, close up, and why when you create a storyboard you kind of need to think about those different framings, because for example if you have a dialogue scene and cutting from wide to wide on the same person may lead to a jump cut and to a jarring editing experience. And the best editing is basically the edits that you do not notice. The best edit is the hidden edit that you don't really perceive, that doesn't take you out of the moment of the story that wants to be told. And knowing those different frames and knowing that, okay, from a wide shot it probably is best to go to a close-up if I want to edit. That is a topic that I want to cover, for example. But also with a jump cut or the rule that you want to cut from wide shot to close-up, for example, you need to understand the rule to be able to break it. So a jump cut is not necessarily a wrong edit, but you need to know how to utilize it. For example, it has to be intentional. And with being intentional, for example, if you do a jump cut that sometimes wants to communicate some hectic, some dynamic in your storyline, you want to integrate the jump cut not only one time, but multiple times. Because if you integrate the jump cut only one time in your commercial, it will be perceived as mistake. But if you do 3 jump cuts, for example, in a row, then the person or the viewer understands, oh, okay, this is intentional. This wants to communicate something hectic. For example, if you jump cut in a packing scene and you jump cut multiple times, you kind of want to illustrate that person wants to pack very quickly because that person, for example, needs to go to the airport. But if you only do it one time, you only integrate one jump cut, people think, oh, was that an editing mistake? But if you do 3 jump cuts in a row, it feels intentional and people know that that is a creative decision. So again, you need to understand the rules to be able to break them and to utilize them creatively. Also, match cut is basically also a jump cut, but because you match one motion to the next motion, it creates a fluid visualization of whatever you want to communicate. And because it's a fluid cut, and although it's a jump cut, it works. So that is really important to understand why some rules are okay to break and how to break them to make them hidden and to make them intentional and understandable for the viewer why you've done those editing decisions. So those are the kind of topics that I will or that I want to educate on and talk about in that workshop. It will be about a 2-hour workshop. So 1 hour me talking about a couple of topics and 1 hour probably some open discussion and some Q&A, so I can kind of tell them or answer questions that might arise during that workshop. And long story short, this workshop for me is not only a great opportunity for me to learn, but also obviously a great way to network with these new creatives. Because truth to be told, if I am able to teach those new creatives my knowledge in terms of editing, and I'm not going to teach them what they do in Premiere, but I'm able also to kind of establish a connection to them, there's a high likeliness that they will book me for their new job. Again, they're not looking to replace an editor. They're looking for learning the rules of editing so they can better craft a story that they then can communicate to the director who will shoot the whole film, and they're looking to be edited after the shoot, and then there is a high likeliness for me to be booked. So there is also a secondary benefit in me going in. But what does this mean for this YouTube channel? Why am I telling you that? This is also a vlog, obviously. I want to share this, but more importantly, this is something new to me doing this workshop. I have now about 2 or 3 weeks to kind of brainstorm 4 weeks. 4 weeks to brainstorm everything that I want to kind of talk about in that workshop. And I will utilize this vlog not only to kind of vlog about my findings, but also to use you, in air quotes, in a good way. I'm going to use you in a good way to kind of bounce back these things that I want to talk about. So I will research all of the topics, and then I will basically try out what I want to talk about with you. I will vlog these topics that I want to talk about, so kind of practice my speaking in front of the group, what I want to kind of teach, and then I will film that. I can review that myself, but also more importantly, all of you who watch these vlogs will basically learn the same things that I will teach in that workshop for that big client. So I think it's a win-win for everyone, and I hope you will enjoy these kind of filmmaking class video vlogs that are coming in the future as well, because there are a lot of things that potentially will be very technical and very detailed. No, not technical in terms of how to utilize Premiere, but technical in terms of filmmaking. For example, all of you know about the 180-degree rule in terms of shutter angle, but do you know about the 180-degree camera axis rule when editing dialogue? That is something that probably many of the people on YouTube don't really know or aren't that aware about. So I will teach about that as well. That is a very important rule that many people forget. And yeah, stuff like that I will teach. I teach about match cutting, as I just mentioned, the different framings. But yeah, there are so many things that I still need to research and that I will probably give to you for free on this YouTube channel as well. So yeah, let me know. Maybe you have a couple of things that you always were asking yourself about editing. Feel free to comment them below in the comment section. Maybe that is something that I can also pick up in that workshop and can talk about as well. And as like always, please click the like button if you enjoyed these videos, because they help a lot to kind of promote this on the YouTube algorithm. And don't mind this annoying beeping sound. This is the traffic announcement, because in the front I can already see it. There is a crash. So yeah, always stay safe on the road. Don't get distracted. Is anyone hurt? No, it looks like everyone is okay. It's just a fender bender. So yeah, click the like button if you enjoyed this video. Stay safe on the road. Maybe check out, I've done a couple of how to vlog videos. Maybe check out the video up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here. Don't forget to subscribe. Help me to get to 1,000 subscribers by clicking the button up here. And I see you in the next video. Thank you very much.